Hey, welcome back to the Rainforest Farm. Today I'm going to show you how to build this piece of furniture. We call it the ultimate chill-out chair. The reason it was built, in part, was to take advantage of this, the incredible sunrises we get off our deck. The other reason for making something unique is that we have a very small balcony and I needed a kind of small bespoke chair to fit in that space. See, here's the balcony and here are the chairs. I also wanted the chairs to be 100% repurposed, recycled timber. In all, I spent probably about $5 on each chair on materials. This is the original chair that I made, the prototype, and believe me, as you make these, it becomes a bit of a journey as you tweak and evolve the design. But the design and the journey always begins here online with a quick search around to see what other people have built. So I did a Google for timber, low chairs, stylish designer chairs, found a bunch which gave me inspiration to build the one that we're going to build today. Here's the timber that I used, basically scraps from the tip shop. The material is hardwood, old timber. And these are the measurements of the timber that you'll need to build your chair. You can obviously adjust the length and even the height of the chairs depending on the size of your balcony. The most difficult part to get right is the height of the feet, the front feet on the chair. And the way that I did that was to elevate those back legs of the chair to 30 centimetres or about a foot above the ground. I elevated them on an old toolbox, and then by dropping down the foot of the chair, it gave me the perfect angle to make the cut and to get that length just right. The length for me was about 22 centimetres, again making the very front of the chair about a foot or 30 centimetres high. Now I go to work with my trusty Azito drop saw, cutting up all of the pieces to those lengths that I mentioned earlier. After doing that, it's off to sanding, which is really one of the fun parts of this build because here is where you get to see the hidden beauty in the timber. You scrape away the old weather-beaten skin, get to see the wonders beneath.
So we end up with these, which are basically the main leg struts and the little bit that they sit upon there. And then we also have some back struts. And here are our seat pieces, back and bottom seat pieces, and they also help strengthen the structure. So all the pieces are here, pretty much ready to be put together. Here we go.
But I immediately hit a speed bump. The knee joint, the L-shaped joint that I'm making here, I really want it to be clean and good looking. In the first model, I used a dowel joint, but this timber is much, much harder and much thicker. I found some strips of tin, which I've been able to connect, and they'll hold, but I'm not loving them. Next up, we're going to put on the seat and the back of the chair. The way we work out exactly where the back goes is by putting two pieces of the seating timber down and then marking with a line roughly where they sit on the legs of the chair. Then I'll basically draw a line downwards from there at a 15-degree angle, and I plan to cut a groove in the timber to hold those chair backs. I cut them out with my drop saw, and then I use a chisel to chisel out that little bit of timber in there, and that's going to provide a beautiful rest, a groove for the back of the chair, which, as you can see here, I put them in and I've also screwed them in.
But I don't like this connection. It just looks messy. It looks a bit ratty. It'll be slightly hidden under the chair as it kind of stands up, but I'm just not liking that it is going to be a little bit too industrial looking. I'm not going for that look. I want it to be a bit cleaner.
So I'm going to replace these strips of tin with some thin decking screws that I had left over from another job. These plus some glue on the joint will definitely hold that knee in place. Then it's time to put it all together, which is quite fun. I use those decking screws again to screw in the seat pieces. I make a few adjustments for length and size, and I've also added a strip of pine along the very front of the chair to give it some extra stability.
Okay, so here it all is put together. And there's been a few modifications as we go along because I go with a vibe. Like I put this front on because I'd broken up a bit of the timber work here. I wanted to hide it. We got rid of those unsightly little supports there, those little bits of tin that we're going to hold those to get together or replace them with some small thin nails. A dowel joint would have been better, but this, I gotta tell you, this timber is so dang hard and heavy. It's just beautiful old hardwood that, you know, I'm pleased that I've gone with this solution because this actually holds this area together as well. The thing is as stable as anything. Now it's time just to put a coat of lovely clear exterior gloss on it and it'll be ready to test drive on the balcony.
The chairs work together beautifully on our balcony. It's exactly what I had hoped for. And the process of building them, designing them, making them fit to the pieces of timber and other materials that I have is really fulfilling. I feel, you know, a great deal of satisfaction after making something like this. And also giving incredible old timber that's probably older than me, a second life. So I hope you have as much fun and get as much joy out of building your chair as what I did.
Hey again. One thing I really wanted to share with you when I'm building these things around the farm, like the chair here, is that I'm trying to focus wholly and solely on what's available to me and what can I repurpose. And that's what drove the design of this chair and other things that I built around the farm, just trying to find ways to use recycled materials of all sorts to build something useful and creative and hopefully something that looks beautiful as well. Now, on that note, a few days after we made the ultimate chill-out chair, Sue said to me, any way that maybe we could shorten the legs a little bit? And I thought, that's a good idea. So I've done that, and that's in the video there. Check it out, and we'll see you next time.